Today is January 29th, 2026. Agent John, are you done playing with the fools? He got Henry Moffitt's confession. He got his confession on January 1926. Everybody's been talking about it. He confessed. It's him. What are you waiting for? So, where him and that Bill from the Freemasons, the way they described him, it was like describing the same person it is. So he has to be the one saying he's Karen's will, he is not my will. He's psychotic. He's the one that has to be the fake FBI agent will taking little kids out. Making it up to him. He likes to play with hypnotic drugs and he likes to sell kiddie porn. That'll scare the pants off you. And the men that work for him that said they work for Will are the fake Portage County sheriffs. Remember that one tall guy with black hair that gives me the creeps? Every time I see him, he reminds me of the serial killer that tried to grab me. Gives me the twinges. Will said that some idiot put her up online again. I tell everybody how ugly she is and not to bother to show up. And he told me to show up and make sure that no one else. Well, he had been telling people he was a Portage County sheriff before. A couple of them said they worked for Will. Got out in the car. No, it's bugged. It's like, look, officer, there's no reason to ever use the U word. I may not be the prettiest thing on earth, but there is no reason to ever use the U word. And you remind me of a serial killer. And every time I see you, I twinge. At least I don't look like a serial killer. He's not an officer. Get it? So, he's a Bill from the Freemasons, big scam of the Dirty Doctor not being one of mine. Works for them and they don't lie. Of course they did. It's HIPAA. Like that one Latina lady outside my home the other day. The people that did this was not from our country. They didn't know this country had a law that was called HIPAA. That it's illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware. It's illegal for a doctor to talk about you. It's illegal for them to share any of your medical records. It's actually crimes. Oh, federal crimes. And that it's illegal to be in somebody's home. They didn't know. Where January 19th, 2026, Bob Evans, Fairlawn. I walk in, I sit down, Carl had to go to the bathroom, he was in there a while. I look at him, he's sitting in there. And he's running his mouth how he was the one that got a hold of me online. The guy through Instagram after the FBI case started. Said he thought I was beautiful and then said some crazy crap about love is something on the beach, wind blowing through and weird stuff. That was it. Okay. He was the one that got a hold of me online. He was trying to prove to my ex-husband I was cheating, and he tells every man that I'm not worthy of another man. That is not cheating. That was him just complimenting me and being weird. And how he was glad he never met me in person. Me too. What was really weird is after he sent those text messages, Riff Raff was talking about him in places, and then he would drive by me. As far as I know, he was never even in a restaurant with me. If he was, I didn't know. I had never, like he said, he never met me in person. That he found out Michelle was telling on him for what they were doing. They can't use it because she's part of the other team. Yes, they can. Didn't deny it either. That's where everybody said it's not funny. He didn't deny it. Where December 1st, 25, an investigator had showed up. Michelle showed up and told us that these people confessed November 23rd, 25, that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government, and her ex-husband was involved. Okay? They thought they would scare me into calling the FBI. They'd open a case and trick them out of the money. They're that dumb. Okay? And, how that with the FBI being busy with Minnesota. Oh, December 1st, 25, how Michelle showed up in that guy's office, told him how they admitted that the whole thing is a scam to extort money out of the government, and my ex-husband was involved. November 23rd, 25. Summit Mall, Macy's girls downstairs yelling it out. Okay? Michelle's not the only one telling on him. And that the doctor from before was not one of mine. He works for them, and they had lied. She actually don't know who he is. Still don't. I'd hope to God one of my doctors aren't a serial rapist. And that they admitted to using hypnotic drugs on me when they drugged me and told me to say it before, and they thought they would tape a weird with yourself. They photoshopped washing in the shower in the other room. Everything's photoshopped. And that guy Pete that was in his office running his mouth about me, that she don't even know who he is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. The whole thing's just a scam. Okay? Well, he admitted Michelle was telling on him for what they were doing. Didn't deny it. Didn't deny it at all. I want you to think about that. He didn't deny it. And I say that's where everybody has been really upset. He didn't deny it. And while the FBI is busy with Minnesota, he was going to had a judge's friend. He was going to enter everything in court, and he was going to steal all the money from the case, and the FBI wouldn't know what hit him until it was too late. Well, I told him. The officers assigned to her only watch her because they feel sorry for her. No, there's a court order. And most of the officers are very fond of me. Almost died to save my family, and because of what I lived through, they got all that information on those people. And they think I'm amazing, and that's how they put it. Okay? And it's our Karen. We're all very fond of her. Okay? And her new husband's son, he told him that he was going to steal everything back for him. Found out he was down there vandalizing stuff on that farm, told him to stay out of it. He was going to steal everything from him. Now he's stealing from the elderly. He's pathetic. He's pathetic. He's going to start robbing little 5-year-olds of their milk money. Give me your milk money or I'll beat up your mom. Seriously. Okay, so that's January 19th, 2026. Bob Evans, Fairlawn exit. He's in there, running his mouth. Okay. Carl seen him after Carl got out of the bathroom. He came out and sat down. He said a few other things, and he left. And he looks like the picture from Facebook of Henry Moffey, about 50 to 70 pounds less. His face is all caved in. Looks like there's something wrong with him. Well, I finally later on tell Carl who it was and what he had been saying. And that's him. And I said, that's actually funny. The guy's as ugly as a horse's ass. And like Danny said, he has a small dick syndrome. They think they have to prove their manhood by harming people and threatening them. If not, they wouldn't harm or threaten anybody. Real men don't. While girls in the mall were laughing, oh my goodness, the guy that's doing it to her, did you hear how she insulted him? That was the 19th. Well, today up in Bob Evans, they said that guy wanted her to know who she was up against instead of her being afraid. She insulted him real bad. Me afraid of that. And they know who he is. Well, good, then they can arrest him for the confession of his crimes. Okay? Absolutely arrest him then. And then people were up there, that guy was up here, he wanted her to know what she was up against, and that was him. And instead of her being afraid, she put insults on him. There's nothing to be afraid of. Seriously. You want somebody to be afraid of? Meet one of the Kings of Men from Texas. One of the 350-pound men. They're big as sumo wrestlers, long black hair. Huh? Meet one of the Gentlemen's Club from Florida, the bodybuilders. You want somebody to be afraid of? That little shriveled up shrimp? Huh? He ain't nothing to be afraid of. Dear God. It's him, it's almost laughable. Okay? So, people were talking about how they know who he is and all this other stuff. We go to my appointment, and then we go to the mall. And people in the mall, good and bad. Some guy was in there. He said, I heard they've been down here calling one of our informants a weirdo. They will not call her a name. Other ones were in there talking good and bad. Girls saying, she's so fat, I heard she rides that stationary bike for an hour. She needs to ride it 2 hours. Shut up. Judge Pete, now the scammer retired Judge Pete, friends with Ludick. It's just some guy saying he's a judge. The real judge involved was Judge Peters from Florida. Judge Pete, now the scammer, told him how ugly I was. Fuck off. It's just a little drug dealer that looks like they said when the case first started. We found out Karen's ex-husband was having her drug being raped, and she was so drugged up she wasn't even realizing what was happening. They said it was some judge messed up in the drug cartel, and to stay out they wanted his connections, and it's found out it's just some guy saying he's a judge. So you're talking about the other scam? How ugly I am. Tell Henry Mauvie, Bill from the Freemasons big scam. The fuck off. You're an ugly motherfucker. So then let's see. There was people in there, that agent, with everything they doing to her, he threw her in the witness protection program so nobody could ever touch her. Then other people insulted me. And then people in there, we know Michelle was telling on him, you wait till they find her, and they're throwing threats out again. You may not want to threaten her. She actually belongs to the Florida drug cartel. And they love her. You might not want to threaten somebody in an actual cartel. Do we understand? I'm tired. Oh, and they made up this lie a long time ago. When she said something about the FBI was involved, they canceled the case. Like Walter said, it can't be closed till you die. Criminal attorney, please, I talk to him. It's a threat and attempt to life case. It can't be closed till I die. The only thing the FBI can do is put me in another witness protection program. I'll be in one till I die. I'm supposed to get the money for the rest of my life and be in immunity for the rest of my life. And Agent John, we all know you don't have authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. It's actually a federal crime. It's right on Google. If an FBI agent or a police officer tries to tell an informant or a victim they can't say anything and tries to silence them, it is tampering with a witness, punishable by 20 to 30 years. Where my friend from the prosecutor's office said it's illegal for him to even say it, and the police know they can't go along with it. It's witness tampering. An agent can't tell on you for calling. They can't tell anybody. They can't help you. They can't tell you, can't say anything. They only hire police officers due to the freedom of speech. Only a judge can put a gag order on you. No, Agent John, all you had to do is dangle my informant money in front of him. It's a big extortion ring. See, and then other people were calling me dumb today too. And I'm tired of your dumb ass behavior and your low education and ignorance. Where my friend Walter used to work at the prosecutor's office, he said, Karen, you don't realize you're not just an informant case. You're in a threat and attempt to lie case. Informants are different. You state yourself, you feed them information, you can tell whoever you want. And that agent does not have authority to even ask anybody to stay quiet. It's actually illegal. It's a federal crime. Be exact. Police know they can't go along with it. They can't bully you into false statements. I said, well, he's already confessed on a recorded line. Everybody knew. He said, it takes a judge due to the freedom of speech to place a gag order on you. He was only bullying you, and the police would know that. He can't bully you into false statements either. He said, and you're not only in an informant case, but a threat and attempt to lie case. It can never be closed until you die. The most the FBI can do is put you in another witness protection program. You get the money for risking your life to get them information, and they owe you for the rest of your life. He cannot withhold the money. He cannot misdirect it. He can't make up rules. No judge could sign it. It's a federal crime. I talked to a criminal attorney. I talked to the police out of this area. They want to know why our police didn't arrest him. They even called our police slow. That they know the law. And if the Department of Justice gets a hold of it, which I already told them to, a lot of people could go to jail for not arresting them. And that's where Grant's friend that's an FBI agent out of state said if she honestly didn't get her money, the only one could have stolen is that agent. And he's probably been stealing for a while. See where these people, how dumb I am? Why? And see, then you got to think, I called the FBI hotline. The next day the phone's ringing. I'm so drugged up, I can't answer the phone. Let it go to voicemail. I even had to hold on the wall to get to the bathroom, to the refrigerator, got back in bed, listened voicemail, fell back to sleep. I couldn't even stay awake. Next day, not much better. Third day, made myself get up. Got enough air in my face. Called one of my witnesses. I gave the hotline. They said that they would witness for me. Went out, bought a card, put that agent's number in it. Made an excuse, dropped it off the mall. Went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Paymer screaming at Dave, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. Women come up. He knows she's being drugged, being raped, and he said I didn't care. I'm covered in bruises, severely infected. Lost 18 pounds. My heart sinking in my stomach where I thought it was a well water giving me cancer. I go sit down. They follow me. You know, she's being drugged, beaten, raped. And he said he didn't care. And he said, strangest lie. 15 years ago, called me a faker. And if she's supposed to be mean to their women, he's going to turn her back over. That he was going to purposely defraud me. Dave comes in, let's go. And he threatens to kill me all the way home. He even goes for a gun at one point. Put my hand on the console and beat me all the way home. Next day, I call that agent. I tell him someone told on me. He calls me a liar. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. He calls me a liar. Starts screaming about a camera above the bench. Dear God, I tried to stay alive. I almost passed out at one point. Got in front of somebody. And how I told him he tried to kidnap me before. He calls me a liar. And before I could even say Terry Coberly seen him, he said, oh, come on now. I've had that family in my office, the one that's pulling your leg, that her father murdered her kid, speeding, ran a stop sign in a semi, hit a semi, killed them both. I wasn't even there. And it's 6 months later that Strange makes up that lie. It has nothing to do with her father murdering her kid, and it's 15 years later. And they're pulling your leg, those people, and all those church people, and I know they're trying to kill you because Strange's lie of the calling you a faker 15 years ago, and you didn't arrest him. And I'm like, I really was sick before, you liar. And he starts bullying me like crazy. And he's like, you either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. And da-da-da-da-da, and screaming at me. It's like, fine, whatever. Ha, ha, ha. Now I want you to say you're faking you're sick. I almost died from medical malpractice. And it's documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. 2002, My Community Health. Proven in 2003 when I got off the medication. I had to be put on fentanyl patches and muscle relaxers. My muscles locked up, and I went to a bunch of crackpots, falsely diagnosed me, and almost killed me. And it took them to tell that they were known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, getting kickbacks from drug companies, and doing unnecessary procedures. And to get an attorney and sue them and turn them over to the state to pull their license, and even offer to go to court with me and represent me to sue them for years. It's documented fraud. And it took me 9 months to get well. And he said, I want you to say you're faking you're sick. Well, that's ridiculous. And I said, I really was sick before. And how he had that family that was pulling their leg and all that church people conning him in his office. And he knew they were trying to kill me. He didn't even blame him for trying to kill me. On a recorded line that he was aiding and abetting murder. I said, I really was sick before. You say you're faking or I'll leave you there. But they've tried to kill me. So they're going to kill me. So on a recorded line, like investigators said, I almost passed out. One said he almost fell out of his chair. He actually talks to her that way. It's a federal crime. I said, I really was sick before. You say it or I'll leave you there. Please don't let him kill me. Then say it or I'll leave you there. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, fine, whatever. Ah. Give me a real reason. I said, they've tried to kill me, so they're going to try to kill me, so give me a real reason, like murder's not good enough. And the other agent yells out, the guy Dave hired on his own, I've still never met. We could use piece of paper weird with yourself. The photoshopped a washing in the shower in the other room. I said, what are you talking about? It's photoshopped by a man I've never met. And he starts laughing, says something else. No, I've never met him. He has to be a black and blue mark. He has to be one of the rapists. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he says something about some doctor. Now, I had some other lady use my insurance for 15 years, ran up a bunch of bills in my name. Back then, you did not have to show ID. And one of the investigators, March 27, 25, announced he had got it out of date. It was another girlfriend. For 15 years, he let her use my insurance. Half my medical records are hers. Stuck me with the copays. And I said, what are you talking about? Well, I thought maybe it was one of the lady, where he said some lady, crazy lady, stole your ID, committing insurance fraud, Karen. Well, here it's one of his girlfriends and him scamming me. I said, what are you talking about? I thought maybe it was one of her bills. And he said, stop, she don't know. Here, the whole thing is a scam. And I said, he said, give me a real reason. Well, I told him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that died working for the government. And he said, have you talked to any law enforcement about threats on your life? I said, no. The only officers I've ever talked to, August 8 of 18, light in a security system at midnight, came out, said it looked like an alien or angry spirit, and told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. I've never even had my neighbors in my home. So what's going on? He said, does you know if Dave's cheating? I said, I think he's cheating, but I've never caught him. And he starts laughing. She said she never caught him. Well, Dave admitted it December 9th, 18. I never caught him. With anybody. Let's see. And then he said, I can take you somewhere and leave you with no money. I don't have any money, as Tom. And he said, well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. I said, I can do that. He said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you would we ever do this for. Always put it back as if it never happened, and you can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. You'll have that money to live on when the case is over. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, I'll tell people you're crazy and and the FBI won't help you. But if you need help, you can call the chief of police of Canton. He's my best friend. He'll always make sure the Canton police protect you. I'll tell you what I told Walter from the Stark County prosecutor's office. He laughed till he chuckled. Had tears. Tears. He's laughing so hard. He said, first of all, that agent does not have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. It's illegal that he did it. It's actually a federal crime. And I told you, punishable by 20 years. It's right on Google. They can never silence you. He said he can't bully you into false statements. The police know they can't go along with it. He said, Karen, you don't realize you're not only in an informant case, but a witness protection program. You're in a threat attempt to lie case. It can never be closed till the FBI puts you in another witness protection program. Otherwise, you'll stay an informant for life. He said, and you'll be in a witness protection program the rest of your life, and you will get the money for the rest of your life for risking your life to get them information. That's what you get paid for, and only for that is for getting them information. And he can't make up his own rules. There's guidelines. And he can't talk to you like that. He can't bully you. He can't tell you can't say anything. He can't do anything. The only thing legal he did on that whole phone call was list you informant with money and immunity, and he can't make up his own rules, and no judge can sign it. It's illegal. Talk to a criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, police, and Grant's friend that's an FBI agent. He can't. And then on Google, he can't. He was only bullying me. But he opened a real case. And it never ended. Where these people lie, oh, they closed it as soon as she said a word about the FBI involved. Well, he already told the Apostolic Church of Barberton to admit everybody knew. Then it becomes stupid. But he's dealing with incredibly stupid people. Remember FBI agent John fell for the Stone tapes before June 7th, 23? Or as if agent John didn't know they used hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before. He was telling people he knew she was being drugged, being raped before the case started, August 5th, 25. You let him torture her? Is he a coward? They call him a coward and a fool. See, that's where this is ridiculous, and I'm tired of it. And like Walter said, until they put me in another witness protection program, you'll stay informant for life. You'll be in immunity for life. You get the money the rest of your life. Agent John, I know all you had to do is dangle my money in front of the wolves and make them sit up and bark and see if it come out who was involved. I like my money. That or someone does need to arrest you if you are actually stealing from victims. That is horrible, that thought that somebody who's supposed to protect you is feeding victims back to cartels just to steal from them, and you're in it with them. I'd like to think that you're just a little more cunning and smarter than these idiots of doing this illegal scam. I'm going to upload this.